What's going on, everyone? Anthony from Chronometer Check here, and today we're unboxing a Vostok Amphibia with a full Lume dial. Now, as you can see, this unboxing experience is quite a little bit different than Vostok's traditional unboxing experiences, so I guess they're getting a little bit more premium. No more cardboard box. Well, this is as a cardboard box. No more super cheap cardboard boxes, and no more plastic random cases that looks like it comes out of a Happy Meal. Anyway, this is reference 170891, and with that said, let's get into the unboxing. Whew. Really premium, as you can see, really premium bubble wrap. Very nice, beautiful. And here you see the watch itself. Right off the bat, I do notice it is quite weighty, so we're gonna take it off this pillow and take a little bit of a closer look. Let's go ahead and peel that little protector. The crystal is a domed acrylic, so you do want to be careful when after you do peel that off. You want to make sure you're very, very committed. So this is a Vostok Amphibia, 200 meters of water resistance, in-house Vostok movement 2826. Not the most accurate or reliable movement. Can be regulated to be pretty accurate, but I think it's specified to be within 20 seconds plus or minus per day, something like that. But I have heard and even experienced with another Vostok Amphibia I owned that it did lose up to a minute. So the reliability on these watches isn't that great unless you are willing to open it up and tinker with it and actually get down to the nitty gritty and regulate it. But yeah, you're paying for the cool factor. I mean, it's a very, very cool looking watch. As you can see, very unique. It does have the full Lume dial, which is kind of cream. It also does have some really cool skeleton hands. I think those look really, really awesome displaying the dial. Underneath, it has some raised applied indices for the hour markers and a negative black display date wheel. I actually just want to check real quick. Most Vostok watches do not have quick set on the date, which is very frustrating. And no, I guess this is the 2826 movement that is pretty much in all of Vostok Amphibia. So you kind of have to go through the little date setting dance in terms of like going to, I think, 3 o'clock and then going back and forth. Anyway, it's a pain in the neck. I don't even bother setting the date on my Vostoks, to be honest with you. And the crown doesn't feel good. If you've ever had a Vostok Amphibia, this does feel a lot like that in terms of build quality. It's not super refined. The edges here are kind of rough. I wish it would be a little bit more smoothed out, but that's kind of not what you're paying for with Vostok. You're getting a really cool kind of very unique and quirky watch. Now, with that said, one thing that does feel a little bit different is actually this bracelet. It does feel quite hefty and a little bit substantial, and it does feel a little bit better than the other Vostok bracelets I've owned, which have all been absolute garbage, to be honest with you. This one does feel pretty good. I will have to see how it actually feels on the wrist. Let's go ahead and take off the wrapping. Okay, the deed has been done, and let's throw it on the wrist. Speaking of which, I am currently rocking my Orient Komatsu on a Jubilee bracelet. Absolutely love this watch. The color red burgundy is absolutely stunning and unique, and like nothing else I ever really have in my collection. But it does make a pretty nice duo with this kind of like strawberries and cream. Now, I haven't gone ahead and sized the bracelet just yet, but just to give a preview of what this watch looks like on a 7-inch wrist. About 41 millimeters in diameter, about 15 millimeters thick, so a rather chunky watch, but for, you know, a thick dive watch, who really cares? Of course, the domed acrylic crystal does have a little bit to add to that, and the bezel itself, which, by the way, wobbles and turns, and not the biggest fan, but it also isn't a huge deal breaker for me either, or I wouldn't be buying this watch because I've owned the stock divers before that have the same thing. Not that big of a deal, but if you do plan on using your dive bezel seriously, you may want to look at a different watch, like maybe the Orient Komatsu with a lot more satisfying clicks. 22 millimeter lug width on this rather geometric case. Again, I feel it like as I'm just running my hands over it, it definitely feels a little bit unrefined. The edges are rather sharp. I do wish they'd be sanded down a little bit. Not bad brushing all throughout the case. It's not the best, but not too bad either. Kind of super thick and chunky. I actually like that. Makes it nice and easy to grab. It also is a bit floppy, as are most Vostok Amphibias. That shows how they make them. Caseback does have this really cool insignia on it, engraved sort of an anchor with a little bit of a star peeking out and some Russian writing that I cannot read, with 200 meters written on the bottom. And you do see also here the deployment clasp on the bracelet. A little bit weird choice for like a dive or a watch, because these are the types of clasps that could easily get undone if you bump up against something. And you would think for a dive watch, that's the exact opposite of what you'd want. You'd want something a lot more secure. Then again, if you're really diving, you're probably not wearing this watch anyway. You're probably wearing something a little bit more significant, especially in 2021 when technology is so good and they have dive watch computers. Said one of the most standout features about this watch, and why pretty much anyone, including myself, gets it, is for the full Lume dials. This is actually my first one. So let's cut these lights and let's see how the Lume actually does. And after absolutely blinding myself with my new UV flashlight, it did illuminate the Lume dial for just a bit. You can see it fading rather quickly, and it's good, not great, fades away rather quickly, but it is a cool little quirk. And I guess if you are out all day, you will get a nice little boost when you do go to look at the watch inside. Not something that's going to be like giving you night vision or anything, and maybe not up to snuff with, say, Seiko's Lume, which is pretty well known and pretty highly regarded, but it's cool. And personally, I kind of like that cream dial anyway. That's about it for now. Thanks for watching. I will have a full review in the future. I just wanted to kind of give you guys a quick unboxing / first impressions and kind of share my initial thoughts with it. I will give it some wrist time and then make a full review. Let me know in the comments below if you do have any questions you'd like me to answer in the full review. With that said, thanks for watching.